Nirma. Nice to meet you.
My name's Brianna.
So what position are you interested in?
I'm interested in the ICU position.
Okay. So we'll start off with a few questions here, and you'll just kind of tell me more about yourself. So my first question is, tell me about a time you were under a lot of pressure. What was going on, and how did you get through it?
So I work currently in a nursing home. So I get a lot of pressure when my nursing home is fully, census are at its fullest, basically. And when I have to do all the AM cares and pass their medications in the morning, I get a little stressed.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of work with my team members and with my CNAs, and we get through it. I help them out, and they help me out to the best that they can.
Okay. So can you describe a time when your facility was undergoing some change? How did that impact you, and how did you adapt?
For me, the change was in my facility. We got a new DON and a new administrator. So it was kind of just an all-over change within my facility because I wasn't very familiar with them. And so just getting to know them as a person and getting to know what they want from us and what they expect was the thing that I adapted to that.
So can you tell me about a time when you didn't know the answer to something at work? How did you go about finding this information?
So I'm a type of person that I ask a lot of questions. So when I come across when a patient or a resident's family member asks me a question I'm not really familiar, I'll tell them that I'll go find out the answer, and I usually go ask a coworker.
Good.
Find the answer.
Can you give me an example of an awkward situation at work? How did you remove yourself from the situation?
So within my facility, we have at least 6 aides and 2 nurses, and usually there is always some sort of gossip going on or arguing. And so there was a time where one of the CNAs was coming to me about just gossiping, and I just told them that I really did not want to be involved in it, and that I think that she should have went to that person and talked to her about it.
Okay. Can you tell me about a time you failed? How did you deal with this situation?
So I'm currently in the RN program at Hawkeye. So failing, there's a few tests that you just don't do as good as you want to. And so to me, it's like I failed. And so for me to, I just set a plan to get better. And for the next test, I would prioritize what I needed to do and get all my homework done so I had an adequate time to study for the test. And just make a study plan, and I kind of just would stick to it, and then I would do good on the next test.
Yeah. Can you describe a time when you anticipated potential problems with a patient and initiated preventative measures?
So I had a resident. She would get straight cath every shift, once a shift. And there was a time where I was just having a hard time to arouse her. And with my report, I didn't really get anything abnormal from her. They said she was fine. And so I was just like, in my gut, I just knew something was kind of wrong and off about her because I really couldn't get her to wake up very easily. And so I got some vitals on her, and I really just had this feeling of, I think she has a UTI because she gets straight cath every day. And so I called the doctor, and we got a UA for her, and it came back with a urinary tract infection. So we started the antibiotics that day after I got the UA, and so we got it under control.
Good job. Can you talk about a time you worked in a fast-paced setting? How did you prioritize tasks while maintaining excellent patient care?
So I would say my work environment right now is very fast-paced. I have around 30 residents to myself, and so how I kind of work with it is I work with my team very well. If I am stressed, or if my coworkers are stressed, I help them out as much as I can, and then they always help me out by making sure my residents are up so I can give them their pills, or getting them to the dining room on time, and I'll help with getting patients up if they're assisted too. We just really work together.
Sounds like teamwork.
Yes.
Okay. Can you describe an experience with a very ill patient who required a lot of your time? How did you manage this patient's care while ensuring your other patients were adequately cared for too?
So kind of going back to my patient, she had a pretty bad UTI. And so she for me, I'm the type of person where I got my vitals on her and I just assessed her. So before I would leave, I wanted to make sure she was stable enough that I could come back and check on her. So I made sure that I would, well, after I leave, she was stable, and then I would help out and do more of my residents and see all of them and get their vitals and give them their meds and stuff. And I'd make sure that I checked on her at least every hour.
Okay, good job. Talk about a time when you felt overwhelmed with your work or patient load. What did you do?
So when I'm overwhelmed at work, I usually ask I always have a second nurse, and I usually ask her for maybe some tips, and I try to prioritize what's most important and what can be done a little later in the shift. And so, and then if I need any help, I usually ask my other nurse or my CNAs to just help me out a little bit more.
Okay. Can you give me an example of an important goal you set for yourself? Did you accomplish that goal? How did you ensure that you accomplished it?
So one goal is to pass my boards for upcoming my RN boards. And so for me to accomplish it, ways for me to accomplish it is my school offers an ATI, like it's a live review to just review material from my whole school year. And so I'm going to attend that and then just set up a plan for myself and go over the things that I'm not sure, I'm very confident with. And hopefully everything works out good and I can pass my boards.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's all of the questions that I had for you. So we will get back to you sometime this week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.